Hey guys, John here. Welcome back to the series, How to Use Maximus. This is video 4, and today we're talking about the display controls. Now these can be found right above the gain knobs here, these different little symbols here. So let's go to a default patch just to make sure everything is reset, and let's play some music to see if we still have everything working. Okay, looks like everything's working fine and we can see some of our analysis over here. So let's turn all of these buttons off by clicking them, and they're all going to turn off here. So if we play again, we see absolutely nothing. So at this point, we're flying blind here. Now, this is why these things are so useful, because we can actually see in real time what we're doing and what's happening to our signal. So over here at the bottom, this triangle menu right here, we're going to cover in a separate video because this is a little bit more advanced stuff that requires its own video, maybe a couple within this menu here. So the one right next to this triangle is going to be this first vertical line, and we toggle that on, and this is going to show us an analysis of our audio, and this is going to be a global analysis. So as we play and we switch our bands, let's turn this down just a little bit here. As we go through our different bands, it's not going to change because this is basically going to be a global analysis of our signal. If we hover our mouse over it, on the top left it says show main input peak. So this is going to be for everything. Now let's turn this one off, and the next one here is going to be the input peaks for each band. So if we play on the master here, it's going to be the same as if we turn this on because it's looking at the master output here. However, if we go to the high, this is what the high is doing, and we can solo that. So now we're looking and we're listening to what's happening here. So let's turn this up here. So this is what's happening on the top end, and this is what we're seeing as well. Now let's go to the mid and check that out as well. And we can toggle to the low. So while we solo and listen to each separate band, we can also visualize what's actually happening within that band, which is very useful. And then back to the master. Now let's toggle this one off. We're flying blind again. Now the next one is going to be the output peaks. Now, an interesting thing that you might have thought of already, if we have our output here and then we have our input also selected, this is going to turn kind of a whitish color. And it doesn't really change once we go through different bands. And that's because we haven't really changed anything on the output, so there's nothing really deviating from this. So let's say, for example, let's go to our mid-range here and let's solo this. So we have both of these selected, our input and our output. However, if we drag this tension here and kind of do some expansion like this, now what we see here, and we can always click this, I don't know if you knew that, but you can always click the graph to pause it and take a look at it. So what's happening here is this green is the deviation happening because we changed this tension handle. So if we put this back to default, it's going to be back to this white color right here. Now, however, if we drag this downwards, now the deviation is going to be in pink or purplish, depending on how it looks to your eye. So that's what's useful about having both of these on. You can see what's happening from the input and how the output is changing based upon the input. And understanding how these controls work and move together, you can really see what's happening and know what the colors mean. And that's going to be helpful later on once you're working on a song. You can say, okay, maybe this is a little bit too much here because I can see this in the graph. You can see these peaks going on, and then you want to compress it and compress certain output. And it gets more in depth as you work with this later on, but it's very useful to actually understand what these colors mean and how they work within the different bands. So putting this back to default, alt-clicking this little button here. Let's turn these two off here. Now we're flying blind yet again. Now this one is going to be the analysis envelope. And we can see how this is basically following the input signal and drawing the shapes to it. And if we put our input as well here, we can see how it's following. Now we haven't changed anything, so this would also work on the output as well. So it's basically following our signal here. We can see how that's happening. And we can do that with the master as well. Now moving on to probably one of our most important ones. Now this is the gain envelope, this white line right here. So if we play something right here with all these bands, it's a flat line because we're not compressing or expanding or really doing anything. Let's go to the mid, for example, and let's solo this right here, and let's take a listen to see what's happening. So we don't have any compression or limiting going on here, but let's drag this down here and let's bring it maybe over here. And maybe we want to bring a little bit of this pre in to kind of make sure we're having some compression going on here. Drag our threshold down a little bit here. Now we can see with these lines here, we can see how these are moving. We can see our envelope of our compression actually happening in real time. And this is useful too, because once we are compressing and working on a certain band, let's say, for example, we increase this release time. Let's do something pretty drastic here. So this release time is so slow, but this is kind of an exaggerated example. We can see how this is changing the envelope while it's happening. So if we just have a quick impulse here and see how long this release takes, we can put our mouse over it, and it's what, 1695.62 milliseconds. And that's how long this whole release takes from the second it hurts something. And if we drag this all the way, or pretty close to the left here, it's going to be much quicker right there. So it's also useful to see something while we also hear it. And in a separate video, we're going to dive into the envelopes and the curves and what this release 2, and peak RMS, all that kind of stuff in the next video. But I just wanted to show you how you can see this change in real time looking at this gain envelope right over here. And the same goes for the attack as well. You can see how in the beginning here, all these attacks are much more rounded off. It takes a little bit longer for the compressor to actually engage. And if we all click this back to normal, it's much more instant, much more quick. So depending on what you're compressing, maybe you want to really control your peaks, or maybe you want to have more of a slower overall, get the meat of the sound and kind of compress that at a slower rate, which we're going to talk about later, but that's kind of what you would visualize here and how you'd kind of interact with things like that. So moving on to our next thing, let's turn this back off and then go to the next one. And this is going to be basically the same thing. However, it's going to be showing for every single band that we're doing. So right now, we only really have the mid getting compressed. So let's do some compression here with our lows. Let's drag our lows pretty low down here. So we have some envelopes going on here. And let's go for our high. Let's do something kind of similar like this. So now we can see this. It's a little bit messy, but sometimes maybe it might be helpful to see what's actually happening across the entire bands. And maybe let's expand the master a little bit here. So what we're seeing here is this red is going to be corresponding to our low band right over here. The mid is going to be this orange, and then the yellow, as you guessed it, the high, and then our green is going to be our master, which I engaged this expansion right over here. So that's where that kind of started a little bit late, but like I said, it looks kind of cluttered, but maybe sometimes you might want to toggle it on to see what everything's doing at once, see how they're working together, and then maybe toggle it off and kind of, you know, maybe use it sparingly, because it is a little bit harsh on the eyes to see all these lines moving all the time like that. But hey, you know, it might be more useful for you. And then finally, let's turn this one off here, and this equal sign here, this one's useful too, because let's go back to our default over here. Now, what I like to do is just kind of reset this here, and I can just toggle this on and off, and then there we go. We have a fresh slate here. So with this equals here, what this does is it's going to show our pre and our post gain based upon these lines. So let's say, for example, I have a low right here, and I have this equals on, and I increase this purple here, this pre, we can see where that is on the line, and then maybe I bring down the post here, and we can see where that is down here. Now we can go to the mid, and we can do the same thing and make these deviated, and that's how we're going to see the different gain from pre and post on this graph represented like that, which is very useful in the end to kind of see where everything's at. You know, you can see like, oh, I might need some more pre, because you can see it right here. So you can also see it on the knob, but you know, it's nice to have it on the graph as well. So back to default one last time, and there's one thing that I did want to show you as well. On the very, very far right here where it says speed, you can increase this here as well and kind of move the graph a little bit faster if you want, or slow it down, which is pretty self-explanatory. But this button over here is kind of easy to be looked over. If we click this, we can see the audio kind of dancing here in a more spectrum kind of view. Not necessarily like a harmonic spectrum, but we have all their waveform here. Which can be useful too when you're dialing in the different lows and highs. You can kind of move and see like where would be a good spots to kind of cut the or put our low crossover at, and where we could put our highs to, where would be like a better place. You can also visually see that as well. So I thought I'd mention that as well, because that's also a visual aid within Maximus. So hopefully that clears up this visualization here. It's very useful, so definitely get to know these different buttons here and when to toggle them on and off, because it's definitely going to help you in the long run compressing something or a band or a whole song or something like that. So Yeah, so hopefully you learned something. In the next video, we're going to be diving into the envelope section, what these curves mean over here, the attack, and the second release, which can be very confusing because you'd never really see a second release on a compressor, what the sustain does, and the peak and RMS, which is down here as well as the look ahead stuff. So if you're not familiar with that kind of stuff, wait for the next video, and we're going to discuss all of that thing going on in the future. Which is kind of a pun because look ahead is in the future kind of stuff. So yeah, we'll look forward to that in the future. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.